When Mario and his mates first took to the track back in 1992 with the original Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, they pretty much created a whole new genre of racing game, the kart racer.
Since then, numerous other franchises have tried to copy the formula, with their own cast of colourful characters, wacky weapons, and tricky racetracks.
Now the latest on that list is Nickelodeon Kart races. But the question is, can it keep up with those radical races, or does it deserve a good old-fashioned sliming?
You should get the slime ready. Nickelodeon Kart Races takes a select group of mascots from the network's popular cartoon shows and pits them against one another across a range of tracks set in the worlds from the corresponding TV shows. You can race in cups that combine a number of tracks, time trials without any opponents, or duke it out in a few different battle modes. Other than that, there's no story or extra modes. This is the kart racing formula through and through. But let's cut to the chase, Goose. For the minute I booted this game up, I had my concerns.
Me too, Gem. Especially once I saw that character selection screen, I knew something was off. In total, there are only 12 characters to pick from, a measly amount when compared to most other races. And while they have included some fan faves like SpongeBob and the Ninja Turtles, which to be fair are more like 4 copies of one character, the remaining crew are made up of characters from Hey Arnold and Rugrats. Good shows in their own right, but they're a tad old and not exactly the craziest characters from the network's catalogue. I mean, one of them is just Reptar the dinosaur. Where are all the zany characters from other Nick shows like Cat Dog, Angry Beavers, Fairly Odd Parents are real monsters?
What's even stranger is I did some digging and discovered Nickelodeon had a racer way back in 2000 for the PlayStation 1 called Nicktoons Racing, which did include a lot of these fun characters. Plus, they all had voices and sound bites of their classic catchphrases. Something else absent from this game.
Yeah, it's totally criminal. I mean, what's the point of including these personalities if all we get is an undersized speech bubble in the corner of the screen with uninspired text from time to time? Bah! It's not good enough.
Agreed! A character's voice is what makes them come alive and makes them memorable. Like yours truly.
Sadly, that's just the start of a long list of problems that all scream rush development and low budget, all to cash in on a popular license like Nickelodeon. The racing itself is woefully average, with all cards handling the same regardless of their customizable parts, and weapon pickups are just underwhelming copies of their Mario Kart counterparts. I mean, who needs a blue shell when you can use a spatula? Not to mention almost no opponent AI at all. Pretty evident when you look back and see them all racing in a single pack.
Yeah, I especially noticed that on those slime sections of the track where you turn into a boat or something, it all just gets very messy.
Yeah, they handled it about as well as those flying sections, which just felt like more attempts to copy the racing styles of other, more polished kart races.
And finally, there's the overall look of the game, which is average, at best. And I'm being generous. These days, we can usually look past things like flat textures, weird character models, and wonky animations if the core gameplay is fun and enjoyable. But when it's not, like in this case, those things just stick out even more. It's a real misstep, especially considering the source material they had to play with.
Yeah, I didn't even hear a single bit of memorable theme music from any of these shows. Instead, it's just generic toy box music that feels like it was slapped in because it might fit the theme of the game. And that lazy design is all throughout the game.
Yeah, totally. Now, this is the part in the review where we'd usually try to point out any of the game's redeeming features, but honestly, I couldn't find any worth mentioning, so I'd rather just call this out for what it is. A very average racer that attempts to cash in on fans of anything Nickelodeon. So I'm giving it half a rubber chicken, because it's not totally broken.
Harsh, but fair, Goose. For a new kart racer to be successful in this day and age, it needs to build on what has come before it, both from a design and technical level. Nickelodeon Kart Racers does neither, and therefore should probably be avoided. So it's a half rubber chicken from me too. Okay, let's slime it.
Alrighty.
What are you doing?
Oh, I forgot to make any slime, so this might take a while. Sorry.